please, for the love of God, do not make these mistakes in the beginning stages of dating.
Welcome back to the Dating View. In today's video, men and women open up about the biggest mistakes they've made or see others make while dating, and share what they believe could be done differently. From miscommunication and rushing connections to ignoring red flags and unrealistic expectations, these conversations focus on lessons learned and practical advice for navigating modern dating more intentionally. If you enjoy videos about modern dating, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more.
The biggest mistake you can make in a relationship is one of you wants the other person to change for them, and the other person doesn't want you to change at all. And the truth is, you're both going to change, but not in the ways the other person wants you to. You're just going to become who you are going to become. And I meet so many people who almost want their partner to play a very specific role in their life, not realizing that that human is evolving, growing, and shifting themselves and is unlikely to do that.
One thing I'm just not doing in a relationship, and men really should not be doing this at all. Should men be following girls if they're in a relationship? Absolutely not, boy. That's a no-no, boy. You need not to be doing that, bro. This recently just came across my FYP, and I just had to talk about it because I'm that person where if I'm in a relationship, bro, I'm not following no other girl. Let's be honest, bro. If you're on the gram or if you're on TikTok and you start following these females and you're in a whole relationship, what's the point of you following those females? I know why you following those females. That's something that's definitely going to cause problems in a relationship and something that you need not to be doing because you're showing that you're interested in somebody else. I know it is very simple, like you're just following somebody and it might not be a big deal, but what's the point of you following somebody? It's either two things following a girl as a man. She's attractive or she attractive, bro. That's it. That's the only thing. And on top of that, your girlfriend's definitely gonna feel some type of way because like, why are you following other girls? Why are you liking other girls' stuff? You shouldn't be doing that. Outside of the relationship, yes, you have to monitor who you following because now everybody's on social media. And if you start following girls that post a lot of inappropriate things, a lot of glute pics, a lot of glute videos, a lot of everything like that, then it's like you are constantly consuming things that are not even good for you anyway. You're constantly fighting lust. Why you want to watch somebody else's content? That's a girl. If you have a girl at home, you should be watching your girl's content. Support your girl, boy. Go ahead and follow your girl. Go ahead and like your girl stuff. How would you like if your girl's following athletes? If your girl's following bodybuilders, if your girl's following the you know what I'm saying, the fellas that look a little handsome, you gonna feel something. Y'all gonna hurt you, boy. I gonna hurt you, so why you doing it to her, man? You over here finding out your girl's liking guys' pictures. You gonna be like, bro, why you liking his picture? You like him? You think he's cute? That's how she feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? That builds insecurity within a relationship. This is why you need not to be doing it. Let's be honest, bro. You find that out, that's gonna hurt you. You might shed a tear or two. But yeah, fellas, come on. We gotta do better, bro. We have to do better. I feel like a lot of us do that. And I don't know why we do that, man. That's not loyal. That's the littlest thing. That's like bare minimum loyalty. Personally, I just don't do it, bro. I just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not my type of thing.
Let me tell you the biggest mistake that you're making in the talking stage. When you're in the talking stage, you're freshly getting to know somebody. I feel like you should not keep your expectations too high. You should not expect anything from anybody, especially someone who you're barely getting to know. Don't set your expectations too high because then that will lead to you being disappointed. So in order to not be disappointed, you literally cannot expect anything. If you keep that mindset, it's good. It's good to keep that mindset because when something happens that you don't like, then you won't be surprised. It'll just be like, oh. Also, don't settle for the bare minimum, please, because if you settle for the bare minimum right away, they will give you the bare minimum. Because they'll be like, oh, like, she's simple. That's all she's asking for, bare minimum. Don't do all the girlfriend things because if you do all of that before you're even a girlfriend, he's never going to ask you out. Do not do girlfriend things before actually becoming a girlfriend. When he does simple, nice things for you, you do not act like you're in shock. You do not act like no one's ever done that for you. For example, these are bare minimum things. For example, if he opens a car door for you, if he does the sidewalk roll, you don't act like, oh my god, like no one's ever done this for me, like make him feel special. Like no, because those things are the bare minimum. Those things are expected. If you are impressed by the little things he does, you are showing him that those are your standards.
It's one of the worst dating mistakes that you can make as a man. If you ever take what women do personally, you will be on an emotional roller coaster the rest of your life, in and out of depression, because they make decisions all the time that are terrible. They make no sense. They're illogical. They're based on an emotional feeling with no rationale. And so if you're going off of their external validation or what they decide to do or whatever the case is, you will be an emotional and psychological wreck. You can take nothing they do personally. You can take nothing they do as serious, valid, or reason. If you want to master dating, click the link in bio.
It is okay to want a man who's tall, who's handsome, who earns money. That doesn't make you shallow. It makes you clear. However, there is a mistake that a lot of women make who come to my wife and I when they want support in the dating life. There's a big mistake that they make, and that is mistaking their preferences for non-negotiables. Stay with me, let me explain. A preference is a nice to have. A non-negotiable is a must-have. And when women come to us, and men, but most of the women who come to us, they have a list mentally, on their notes app, in their journal, of everything that they want. They have things that are important but not a need. Meaning, if they have in their list, I want a man who's 6'3", I want a man who earns $150,000 a year, and we actually peel back the layer, we find out that what they think they want isn't actually what they need. Because if they have a man who earns X amount of money, who is tall, who's handsome, however, you don't feel safe with him. When a woman wants a man who is tall, for example, we really find out that they want a man who they feel safe with. So we have to get clear about what are the non-negotiables, what are the actual values behind what you think you want. And when that happens, then choosing a partner becomes 10 times easier. And there are 8 non-negotiables in 4 core areas that we help all of our clients with. And we have a whole process. If you want it, comment down below 90. I'll send it over to you. It is within a course, but I'll send it over to you. So that way you can get clear on your non-negotiables and you'll be able to have a clear process with dating. So then that way, finding your partner becomes inevitable. You're not relying on hope.
One of the biggest mistakes I see men in relationship make over and over and over is they think a logical solution will fix an emotional problem. When a woman is emotional, she does not necessarily want a solution in the moment. What she's looking for is connection. She wants her emotions that she's putting out to connect with you so that you're able to hold her, understand her, connect with her, and feel her emotions with her. Only after you two have done that are you able to come in with a solution. And honestly, most of the time, the solution is pretty straightforward and seems obvious by the end anyways. But I know that if you're a man and you've tried to give a logical solution to a woman when she's deep in her emotional process, it is almost always never going to go well. When you do this, you're giving a completely unwanted solution that doesn't need to happen right now. It's all about the connection. So if you're a guy watching this and you want to get better at this stuff, you want to be able to connect a bit better with your partner on emotions, and overall just step into your masculine frame, I have a free 3-day mini course. The link is in my profile. I've had thousands of men take it, and over the 3 days, I'm going to show you exactly how to tap into your masculine energy, which is going to make offering a solution at the end a lot easier so that you can hold your woman through her emotions.
Biggest mistake that women make in dating is that they ignore red flags, right? So you have a standard and you'll start talking to this guy and all of a sudden you forget about your standards. Like you lower them a little just so he can make it through. And all the flags are there. He can't communicate. He don't got a job. He don't got a car. He don't got no plan for the future. It's either one of those 4. He gets angry easily. He doesn't know how to communicate, express his emotions, which ties in. 95% of problems can be fixed with communication. So stop ignoring the red flags because you can't cover the you can't cover the red flags with dirt. Like, there's this layer of problems. You can't go, oh yeah, we're just going to talk and build a relationship. It's going to cover it. It's still there. It's the foundation. He's grounded on this. So it's not going to go anywhere, okay? So you have to check it out. Start talking to him, and if he's already fucking up the first 2 weeks, that's first 3 days, that's going to give you an idea. If y'all already arguing and y'all just started talking in this talking stage, what's going on here? Okay.
Here are the 3 biggest mistakes that I have personally made in my own dating life so that you don't have to. And believe me, I made a lot of them, so this video may go a little bit long. Mistake number 1 is using the red pill dating tactics. I used to watch guys like Casey Zander and Andrew Tate who would tell me if I could just say the right things or send the right texts or, speak in a certain way, then I could get a girl to fall for me. And a lot of it was just manipulative mind games and BS. And you'd never guess, whenever I tried using these tactics on godly women that had a good relationship with their dad, they would just blow up in my face. These girls would have discernment, see through my crap, and cut me off immediately. And it did not work. Mistake number 2 is I would fail to lead in purity. I would write out all these boundaries and say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to honor these. We're not even going to get close to sexual immorality. And then I would turn around and break all the boundaries that I would set. And oftentimes I would find myself thinking in my mind, like, how close can we get to that boundary? Or, what is the line between purity and sexual sin anyway? The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 6:18 that we are to flee from sexual immorality. So set boundaries in your relationship, honor them, and it's even better for you to have a godly couple in your life that is holding you accountable to those boundaries so that you can stay on the straight and narrow and not lead your girlfriend into sexual sin. And the third and final mistake that I made in my dating life was staying in the wrong relationship for too long. A lot of people do this. They feel a calling from God that this person's not from him and they need to leave, or they have mentors or friends that are not supportive of the relationship. But instead of taking heed to those warnings and listening and saying, hey, this is probably not good for me if all of my friends are not supportive of this person, they just ignore all that stuff and they say that they're going to fix this person or they're going to make it work. But you only end up delaying the inevitable. That person ends up cheating on you or hurting you, and all the red flags that all of your friends saw end up coming true and you get burnt. So the solution to that I wish I would have known is to just take heed to the warnings, be led by the Holy Spirit, and if God is telling you to leave somebody, you need to realize that it's for your best interest and he has somebody better for you. He would never take somebody out of your life and leave you with nothing. He's always going to replace it with somebody who is better and more suited for you.
Here's a simple dating mistake that so many people make that I'm going to help you avoid. It's something you probably heard before, but you didn't hear enough. Before I tell you what it is, if you need help with dating, moving on, or no contact, go ahead, click that link in my bio, join the free Discord. My whole community is here to help you. Now, the mistake is thinking you're the exception or they're the exception, that they're rare, that you will never find nobody else like them. Like they act completely different than everybody in this generation. And I love to break it to you. I don't hate it. I love to break this to you. They aren't. They aren't. You just made them special in your mind because you probably was in love or some shit. And it's crazy because people will realize it later on down the line when that person leaves that they weren't special at all and that there is a whole bunch of other people just like them. Matter of fact, I want you to think about all your old exes, old situationships, old talking stages, and really think, like, were they different? They was probably extremely similar to each other. And I'm saying this in the sense of, okay, they had 1 or 2, maybe 3 genuine traits, but the rest of their personality, straight from TikTok, straight from Instagram, straight from their friends, their family, like it, similar.
Okay, this might be controversial. One of the worst things you can do as a woman in relationship or when you just started seeing someone is complain. And let me explain that. I'm all about healthy communication and not playing games. But when it comes to like men's psychology and just like human psychology, the only way for someone to change their behavior is for them to want it. Because trust me, if you send him a long paragraph planning, you don't do this, you don't do that, all they hear is just like criticism. They retreat, doesn't want to deal with that. Men respond to behavior, they don't respond to words. Instead, what you do, slightly pull back, word things that he does right, so his brain learns that, okay, we need to do more of that. Or let's say, for example, he doesn't text enough. Instead of saying like, hey, you don't text me that much, you say, you know, I actually really like when you text me. It makes me feel good. Like, I love talking to you. See the difference?
Girls, we need to talk. The 3 worst mistakes that you can make while dating. I don't care if you're in your 20s, 30s. You do not want to be wasting your time or your energy. And you're gonna be if you do any of these things. Just take it from me and my personal experience. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Number 1 is settling for someone you actually don't want. Compatibility is actually so important in a healthy relationship. If you want a romantic man and you know that that's what you need, don't date a man who doesn't know how to plan dates, who won't pull up with flowers, who isn't affirming you. Like, just don't do it. If you are somebody who likes to do date night activities or like getting out the house. You cannot be with somebody who is in the house 24/7 playing the game. You just can't, okay? Take it from me. And I know a lot of women settle in like that type of category because the man is providing financially, or you know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not worth it. In the long run, that's not what you want to be doing. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be fulfilled. It's not going to be a healthy dynamic. Get out of there. So you know how they say you need to date a man who actually wants to be a boyfriend and not a man who just wants a girlfriend? That's kind of what I mean. And that leads me to number 2, which is don't fall in love with potential. So what I mean by that is don't fall in love with the fact that, oh, maybe one day he'll be ready for commitment. Maybe one day he'll give me what I need, what I want, what I deserve. None of that, okay? Some women stay stuck at that point for years. Some women waste their entire 20s waiting for a man to grow to the point where they like actually show up for them. Oh my God. If the man is not coming into your life intentional about being in a relationship with you, being committed to you, don't act like it's a commitment. Do not be exclusive to a person that's still out here searching for validation. A man who is searching for validation from multiple women, whether he's like following a gajillion people on Finsta or even his real Instagram, whatever, that will never, ever, ever give you peace, okay? You'll always be like, another one. Like, what is the point here? What is the objective? What I'm basically saying is you do not want to be sitting there and waiting for a man to grow up. You don't want to be teaching a man how to show up for you. You don't need to be teaching him how to communicate if he doesn't know how to communicate. You cannot be with somebody who is not emotionally intelligent and available for you when you are. And I'm not saying that people can't like learn. I'm saying there are some things that are just character flaws. They're not teachable. Some things are just not in some men, and that's okay, but you don't have to deal with it. And the third mistake, big mistake, you will regret doing this, is compromising your boundaries, especially early on while like dating somebody. I really used to do this in my 20s. Now that I'm in my 30s, no, absolutely not. And the men that I talk to, they know, like, I'm not playing. Like, don't waste my time. What you allow in the beginning is what you're going to be dealing with for the remainder of your relationship. They might try and be good for maybe like a week or so if you have a discussion about it, but still, if it's like in their character to do something like that, especially in the beginning, if they try you, yeah, if you let them play in your face once, they're gonna be playing in your face forever. Like I said, a good man wouldn't even play with you. They wouldn't even want to waste your time because it's not in them to do that, right? The right person is gonna feel like peace. They're not gonna give you anxiety. They're not gonna have you like, oh my God, what is he doing? Da 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 da. No. So again, don't settle for what you don't want. No falling in love with potential, and no compromising your boundaries. And honestly, if you're dating a man who actually wants a girlfriend and actually likes and respects women, he won't even make you do any of those things. Okay, that's all. Love you, bye.
You give up the cookie before men put in any effort. And then you come back expecting the dates, expecting the effort, expecting the respect. Let me give you this analogy that may put it all in perspective. So it's like walking into a Chanel store and a new employee accidentally sells you a $20,000 bag for $2,000. You leave, you're super excited, you got a great deal. 10 days later, the manager calls you and is requesting that you come back and pay the full $20,000 for the bag because that's what it's worth. And even though you paid $200, they're demanding you pay $20,000 for it. The truth is, you already got it for a steal. You got it for $2,000, way less than you ever expected you would pay for the Chanel. And now it's just no longer worth $20,000 for you. I'll give you another example. It's like choosing between a fine dining experience and a fast food place like McDonald's and Nobu, let's say. When you hand over your time, your body, without him putting in any effort, any time, you just turned yourself into a fast food restaurant, into a fast food experience. It's cheap, it's easy, it's convenient. But if he needs to make the reservation to Nobu and he needs to dress up in his best outfit and wear the most expensive shoes, then suddenly he is willing to pay top dollar for this experience, for this fine dining experience, because he had to put in a little more time and effort into what he's going for. So are you a fast food type of experience for your dating relationships, or are you more of a fine dining type of experience? You can't give yourself with no effort and then expect to have a man who will put the effort and who will give you the respect when you haven't earned that.
What's making dating so difficult is that women are still unknowingly perpetuating patriarchal ideas when they want a more modern relationship. So I don't care if you want a traditional relationship or if you want a modern day one, but the problem is when you come with such high expectations, wanting both. So a lot of women break the mold of traditional households or dynamics, like I'm the boss ass bitch, I have my own business, I make my own money, I have my own opinions. That is great. You have broken the mold. You better be giving potential partners the same grace. So you're probably not going to be as feminine as women were in the past. So you better be okay with the men you might be dating not being as masculine as they were, because the expectations that people have with men being financial providers and, you know, being able to lead in relationships and be gentlemen and have this chivalrous behavior, those are all ideas and concepts created and perpetuated by the patriarchy. Probably more positive ones, but what people are doing is that they're nitpicking what they like and don't like and treating it like it's a buffet. It's not a buffet, because if you make $300,000 a year, you don't need a man to make more money. You can desire a man to make more money, and that's okay, but you cannot hold men to a standard that you yourself do not meet. And so if you want them to be more traditional and you're not traditional, it is hypocritical. Men have become more passive and more feminized than they have in the past because the conditions aren't set up for them to succeed as easily as they used to. The common man cannot support an entire family off of an average income. It's just not possible. And so while women were developing more skill sets, developing more masculine traits, men were kind of getting a reality check where, oh shit, I am being invited to a level of masculinity that hasn't been required before because the bar has been risen. So a lot of men are struggling to step up and meet those expectations. But if you don't want a traditional life, if you don't want to be a trad wife, that is totally okay. The old paradigm hasn't completely eroded yet. A lot of people still want that, and that's fine. But if you don't want that, you need to be able to adjust your expectations to something new. Relationships aren't going to look like what you're used to. There's a lot of conditioning that women don't know they still have that are perpetuating these things that they claim they don't believe in and that they don't want. There's a lot of modern day feminists still being provided for by a man. Those actions aren't aligning with the belief system. And there's a lot of like hyper independent, business babes that want more traditional setup, but they have a hard time delegating decisions or letting go of control and being able to be more flexible. So when it comes to modern day dating, you better know yourself, because it requires a lot of knowing yourself and identifying your strengths and weaknesses. Modern day relationships looks like, hey, I'm really good in this area, so I will make decisions in this area. You're really good in this area, so you make decisions in that area, and then we'll come together for the rest. You need to be able to know yourself though. You need to be able to be independent, but also emotionally available to have those conversations. Because what people tend to do is like the moment a partner brings something up that requires them to change, they will like summon like irrelevant, illogical arguments out of thin air. Oh no, you're trying to control me. You're trying to suppress me. I'm an independent woman. Oh wait, you better be providing for me. Like the next day they're like, oh, you better be providing for me and you better be doing X, Y, Z. So they're manipulating and they're weaponizing like old traditional setups to like modern day dating. Like there is no consistency. This is why I'm saying know yourself. Because this whole like whiplash thing that you're doing to manipulate someone to not have to change, to not have to decide, is only making you both miserable. A lot of people come into relationships thinking they need things that they don't. We actually have very little needs from another person. We have a lot more desires, but we're calling our desires needs. And that's just not the case.
I want to give you guys my 5 tips of dating advice. One of them, leave at the first point of confusion. Do not allow a man to confuse you, to fill your head up with lies. The second he does that, leave. I don't care how good it sounds, how much you wanted to believe it, how much you did believe it. The second he confuses you, whether that's actions, him saying one thing, doing another, or him going back on his word, you leave. Name one woman who stayed during all points of confusion, who is now just lingering around, who has never been cuffed, who is literally filled with sadness and heartbreak because now she's in a cycle that she has not left. Do not stay, okay? Second he confuses you, get up out of there, okay? Okay. The second piece of dating advice, we are too grown to be building up any man, okay? Do not try to fix no man. Do not try and fix his dysfunctional family. Don't try and fix his trauma. Don't try and teach him how to fold his clothes. Don't teach him how to change a tire. Come to me healed, prepared, and ready. I'm not building up no more men. I'm not staying down for the come up for nobody else. I'm not getting it out the mud with you. You come built and I will make sure you're stable, okay? Next, do not ever settle, because I promise you, look at me in my eyes while I look in this flashing flashlight of a camera. There is somebody who's going to check all them boxes. Don't be with anybody who does not make you feel your best. There's too many men out here who will make you feel like you are the most beautifulest thing walking, who will lift you up in abundance, who will not tear you down when you get some good news, who will not break you down just so he could stay up. The last piece of advice I would give is don't put yourself in trauma. And if you're in trauma, you need to leave. A lot of women can't find themselves out of trauma because they try to validate them leaving. You don't have to understand why you're leaving. You need to leave. Baby, you're questioning yourself in that relationship with him. Why you gotta question you leaving him? Don't make yourself an insecure woman, a heartbroken woman. Save yourself while you can. There's too many men out here that will do that for you. Don't settle. Don't be stupid. Love yourself, okay? Peace, love, and applesauce. Bye.
Unfortunately, I fear I am the queen of horrible dates. And while there's a million things that men do that get under my skin, let's talk about the 5 absolute no-nos that men do on the first date that will buy them no second date, and usually a block. And ladies, chime in the comments because I'm curious what your no-nos are so I can add them to my list. Starting off at number 1, if you're rude to the wait staff, you'll never hear from me again. If you don't tip, you'll never hear from me again. This one is iffy. Some people might agree with this, others won't. I personally get super bad secondhand embarrassment when somebody sends their food back. Unless it will give you anaphylactic shock, eat it. Eat it. Even if it'll just give you a rash, you're like kind of allergic, eat it. Just eat it. You ordered it, eat it. That's it. That's all I have to say on that. Number 2, this one's huge for me. If they're perusing the menu and they start mentioning price. Or even worse, if I tell them what I'm getting and they find it on the menu and they go, ooh, $44. I'm not your girl. I'm not your girl. I promise. I'll go home. Like clearly, and I don't mean this rudely, but you cannot afford me. And that is okay because I can afford myself. 3, this one's kind of odd, but when they eat less than me, I don't like it at all. If I look down, I've scarfed on my plate. I'm licking that shit clean and I look over at you and you've eaten 1/4 of your plate and you're like, oh, I'm so full. I'm gonna kill myself. I feel like a big back. Please don't make me feel like a big back. Make me feel like a lady. Eat until you literally cannot breathe. And even worse, when they look at my plate and they go, oh, someone was hungry. Shut up. Okay, 4, and this one is if you have to walk to your destination. I hate it when they walk 10 million steps in front of me. Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm in kitten heels. I'm not running unless somebody is chasing me. Also, why are you in a rush? Oh my God, just walk street side beside of me. It's not that hard. Okay, my final one. I love banter. Don't get me wrong, I love banter, especially when I'm in a relationship. So this really goes for like the first like 10 dates, but do not make a condescending joke towards me. Do not pick on me. It's not funny. It just tells me that you're not funny. You can't find anything else. You just scrape the bottom of the barrel and you came up with that. And also I will retaliate and it'll be 10 times meaner. And then we'll just sit there in awkward silence because I just fucking flamed you. So, okay, that's it. Those are my 5 no-nos.
Please, for the love of God, do not make these mistakes in the beginning stages of dating if you want a man to be emotionally invested in you and you want things to last. By the way, I'm starting to do weekly Q&As over on my Instagram stories every single week, so follow me on there so you can ask me all the questions. Okay, let's get into it. The first one should be a no-brainer, but I see a lot of you guys making this mistake, and I have also made this mistake. Do not go over to his place on the first date. Are you really gonna make it that easy for him, girl? Like, no. And if you're like, well, he invited me over to cook for me or cook for him, no. Mistake number 2, do not cook for him. At least make him take you out a couple of times before you offer some type of girlfriend treatment like cooking. You see, the thing that you have to understand about men is that whenever you do nice things for them, that doesn't make him think, oh my God, I should do those things for her. It makes him think, wow, I'm amazing. He just thinks he's more amazing by you doing nice things. You got to make him invest, and you need to be open enough to receive it and be in your feminine energy. Think about this. We've all had somebody that likes us way more than we like them in the beginning, and it kind of is off-putting. That's what you don't want to do. The third thing that you should never do, sleepovers. No playing house until he is invested in you. And when it comes to like a certain time frame that you feel is good to start doing these things, really depends on the situation and how you feel and your intuition. So check in with yourself. Let me know if you guys want me to go into a separate video about that, because there definitely is key signs to know when he's invested in you.